ZSpheres are a very intuitive and interesting tool to create the overall blockout design of your model. If you've ever done clay sculpting, you might be familiar with the term armature. That is similar to the concept of ZSpheres. They will let you easily block out a model without worrying too much about forms or brushes. To get started with ZSpheres, select the Tool Palette button here and ZSphere. This will automatically load up a ZSphere tool which comes with ZBrush automatically. As with any tool that you might open for the first time in ZBrush, you start out by dragging it in one time into your canvas. If you accidentally drag it in twice, don't worry. Simply press Ctrl N to reset the canvas. Drag it in one time, and then go to Edit mode. Now we have our root or central ZSphere right here. All other ZSpheres that complete our armature will be spawned from this one. It's important to note which one is your root ZSphere because the root cannot be deleted. As you hover over your sphere, you might notice that the cursor looks a little bit different than usual. That's because ZSphere controls are a little bit different, and we will go over them right now. The first interesting thing you can do with ZSpheres is draw in new ZSpheres. This mode should be on by default, or you can access it by pressing Q on your keyboard one time. As you click and drag your new ZSphere in, you can select how big it's going to be by dragging more, or how small, and even where on the previous ZSphere it's going to be. ZSpheres work with symmetry. To do so, simply press X on your keyboard one time, and now you'll see the double cursor. Try dragging one in. Now you can see we got something interesting going on. The next important thing we can do with ZSpheres is move. To go into move mode, simply press W one time on your keyboard. Now you can click and drag on any ZSphere to move it around. You'll notice that if you drag one ZSphere farther away from the previous one, it's just going to expand the distance between them with a chain of little spheres. If instead of clicking directly on the sphere, you click on this little arm handle and drag, it will actually move the whole thing as if it was rigged. To scale ZSpheres, simply go into scale mode by pressing E on your keyboard one time. You can click and drag on any ZSphere to make it bigger or smaller. Keep in mind that ZSpheres work in modes, so you don't have to click and hold the scale button. Simply go into the mode, and then you can drag on your ZSpheres freely. If you press R on your keyboard, you can also rotate ZSpheres, although that's not a very common usage of them. To add more ZSpheres in between the ones you already have, simply go back to draw mode by pressing down Q one time, and click anywhere between two ZSpheres to create another ZSphere in the chain. That ZSphere works just like any other, so you can grab it, scale it, and whatnot. To remove ZSpheres, you need to be in draw mode, so press Q one time, and then Alt-click any ZSphere you'd like to remove. That being said, remember that you cannot remove the root ZSphere, so use it wisely. In this quick demo, I'm going to show you how to block out a quick little animal using ZSpheres. I'm going to go into Q mode to draw in a little bit of the neck, so this will be the chest. Move it up, and so on. To make a ZSphere that's in the center of your body, simply let the two cursors touch until they become green. And then it will allow you to make one ZSphere as opposed to two really close up ones, like this. Now that we have our animal blocked out with ZSpheres, make sure to press A on your keyboard to preview how it's going to look once it's sculptable. The thing to know about ZSpheres is that you should not sculpt on ZSpheres. You shouldn't sculpt it even on preview mode when A is pressed. In order for it to be a fully sculptable mesh, we're going to turn it into an adaptive skin. When you are previewing, check for any errors, twists, and losses of volume. That might mean that you have, for example, two ZSpheres on top of each other in an incorrect way, or you've created what I like to call a baby ZSphere. That is what happens if you have Q mode on, which is the add, and you accidentally press one time on your model like this and create a bunch of baby ZSpheres. That can cause a couple of issues. Can you tell the difference? So really try to avoid creating those baby ZSpheres. But if you do, don't worry. You can always go back to draw mode, press down Alt, and click on them to get rid of them one by one. Getting rid of baby ZSpheres can be a little bit difficult, so the best mode that I can recommend is to simply try to avoid them altogether. Once you're happy with your ZSphere blockout and you're happy with how it looks when you have A mode turned on, let's turn it into an adaptive skin. That is the fancy way of saying we're going to turn it into a sculptable mesh. We're going to go to adaptive skin underneath the tool palette right here. If you click make adaptive skin, it will make adaptive skin with the current settings. If you turn on polyframe mode, you'll notice that right now it's dynameshed. If you wish to keep it like this, simply hit make adaptive skin. Although I always try to recommend turning dynamesh down, resetting the preview, and going for a more clean low poly look for your initial blockouts. This just guarantees that everything's easier to control while you are refining your blockouts. Once you're ready, hit make adaptive skin, and nothing will change. You can still press A and preview your ZSpheres, and you can go back and forth. Do not accidentally start sculpting on this mode, okay? Instead, go up here to your tools, and you'll notice there's another tool that's been copied over called skin underscore whatever the original name of your tool was. That right there is the 3D model that you want to work on. If you're ever in doubt, press A a couple of times. Nothing should happen. It should always look like this. Now you're ready to start modeling on it. With ZSpheres, you can quickly block out just about anything you dream of. Try using them to speed up your workflow and mock things up easily.